After profiling Halifax presenter Laura Bain on AMI this week, we all know that she loves the outdoors. But something you might not have known is that she's also an enthusiastic camper. And like many Nova Scotians, she doesn't let the cool fall weather stop her.
Oh, good for her. I would love to go camping in the fall. I don't think I could convince my husband, never mind my kids.
Well, Laura recently decided she'd like to expand her camp cooking repertoire beyond the usual hot dogs and s'mores.
I like s'mores.
Oh, we all do. But there's a lot more options out there. In our next story, Laura takes a cooking lesson from an experienced camper and Scouts Canada leader. Together, they cook up some delicious meals over the fire.
When it comes to campfire cooking, veteran camper Chris Hoar doesn't limit himself.
I'm a big believer, just because you're in the woods doesn't mean you have to be uncomfortable, and that includes my food. Use your imagination. Anything you can cook at home, you can cook in the woods.
Chris and I are at Camp Harris, a Scouts Canada campsite in Dartmouth. For my lesson today, we'll be cooking over a campfire.
If you've cooked a meal at home on an oven, you can cook the same meal on a fire. The only difference is what you're using. If you've never cooked at home, that's the difficult part.
After a bit of coaxing, our campfire roars to a start. While we wait for the flames to die down, I join Chris at a picnic table to prepare our first dish.
All right, Chris, you've got some branches here in front of us that you brought from home, so what are we gonna use these for today?
Well, I'm getting hungry, and I'd like to do shish kebabs.
Okay, sounds good.
Branches make great DIY skewers. Using pruners to clip the leaves and a knife to scrape off the bark is easy and fun.
Why do we want to take the bark off?
Well, the bark's been out in the weather, the dust, the dirt, the bird droppings.
Okay.
I don't want to eat that.
Sounds like a plan.
You can cook almost anything on a stick. This time round, I have some steak, some ham, potatoes, onion, and peppers.
Once our shish kebabs are finished, we wrap them up in individual tinfoil packages. Back at the fire pit, the coals are ready.
So you want to place 2 in the coals, and I'll place 2 in the coals, and we'll get them cooking.
Now, since I can't really see that well, can I just sort of bring it over? Can I sort of drop it in?
Yes, go right ahead. While that's cooking, let's look at some of the other meals we can cook at camp. So I want to cook an egg.
Okay, and you've got just an uncooked egg in the shell right now.
Right now.
And you've got a stick.
I have a stick. So I'm going to cook an egg on a stick.
Okay.
So you've blown Easter eggs before?
Yes, I have, actually.
So that's basically what we're going to do.
I remember it being a little on the tricky side.
Tricky and messy?
Yes.
It can be.
All right, so you're just tapping like a little hole at the end of your egg with your knife, and you just did that on one side, right?
I've done both sides.
Oh, okay. And you just feed the skewer right through. That's pretty impressive. Oh, you're just setting it, okay, you're setting it right over the fire pit.
Yeah.
And you're just gonna leave it.
You get a little drippies.
This looks like it might be a little more of an advanced trick.
It is a very advanced trick to be able to cook an egg on a stick over a fire.
Chris's next egg recipe is more beginner-friendly. It starts with an orange sliced in half.
What I'm doing is carving out the orange. I want the rind.
You're just cracking the egg and using your orange rind like a little boat to hold your egg.
Yes. Now we're just gonna place.
Oh, and you put that right on the coals.
Yep.
After about 10 minutes, all the eggs are done.
Let's try them.
I bet this one tastes like orange.
Just a little.
Tastes like eggs and campfire.
It is that smoky flavor, doesn't it?
After our eggs, it's finally time to dig into our kebabs.
Now you have to be careful. This tin foil is hot. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit. We've got his and hers camping sporks, blue and pink.
I'm going for potato first.
All right, I think I've got a bite of ham here. Everything tastes better over a campfire.
Oh, it does.
No campfire supper is complete without dessert. Chris shows me a recipe he calls puffs. We each take a marshmallow and a handful of chocolate chips, drop them on a square of puff pastry, and wrap it up like a wonton.
And then we have to put them on a prong stick because you can't balance it on just a regular stick. and we'll brown the pastry over the fire.
Sounds delicious.
After a good browning on the fire, we dig in.
That's really good. Losing a little bit of marshmallow, but it still tastes delicious.
I have a great afternoon with Chris. He's full of lots of campfire cooking tips and tricks. And I'm left with lots of ideas for my next camping adventure.
Chocolate chips, marshmallows, and pastry. I can taste it now.
What a fun recipe. I will have to try it.
All the recipes looked so good. I'll have to give that egg on a stick thing a try. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, one thing Laura told us that didn't appear in the clip is that Chris has been camping for about 50 years, and the fanciest thing he ever made was a full turkey dinner complete with all the trimmings.
Wow.
He used an aluminum foil oven. It took all day, but he even cooked the rolls on the fire.
Sounds like a pretty good guy to go camping with.
Yeah. Another thing that he shared with her that wasn't included is that you can boil water in a paper bag.
Really?
Yeah, so apparently the paper above the water line disappears, the rest stays intact, and you could cook a whole meal in a paper bag.
That's pretty impressive. Find me a campfire.